The pandemic has had a tough time on everyone, and we as travel content creators are no different. Curly Tales is a community of global travelers, and on our new show, One World, we'll be talking to travel influencers from different countries. Today, joining me on the show is a travel content creator who is of Israeli American origin, Alyne Tamir, popularly known as Dear Alyne. Well, she's been to 86 countries, and even the pandemic could not stop her as she recently traveled from Singapore to Dubai for work. Let's hear out what she has to say.
Hi, my name is Alyne, and this is my story. Merry Christmas from Nazareth.
Hi Alyne, welcome to Curly Tales. So good to see you. Well, we never thought that traveling could be such a big achievement, but you seem to have taken the plunge by traveling from Singapore to Dubai recently. How did it go?
So I'm based in Singapore right now. So I was quarantining there for quite a long time. Then some work trip came up with Dubai. So we were able to come here to Dubai. And on July 7th, I believe, the UAE opened. I think it's specifically Dubai opened to tourism. So you can come here. So it's been very interesting. We went to the airport. We had to fill out all these papers before we left that say we have health insurance, all of this stuff say we don't have corona. And then we had to take a little test on arrival at the airport. Then they have you quarantine for 8 hours to wait for your results. But once you get your result, you can go around the city as usual. So I've been here 10 days now. The flight was 80% capacity. So it was actually a really full flight, but they have to cap it at 80% so that there's some empty seats. We got super lucky and they upgraded us to business class.
Oh, wow.
So at the last minute, like as a surprise or something, I don't know someone did that. And it was only like my third time flying business. So we had our own pods and they were like fancy pods, like with a TV and like a chair. It was cool. But they gave us like everyone on the plane, they gave like a sanitary kit, a hygiene kit. So we all had to wear gloves before we got on the plane. We have to wear a face mask. They give us sanitizer and spray. They give you all these little hygiene stuff when you get on. And all the workers are covered in like a suit, the airplane employees. Yeah.
You've seen two countries now as the pandemic has started, Singapore and Dubai. What have been your thoughts? How are these two countries managing the situation differently?
Sure. So in Singapore, I have more experience because I lived there. So I know that they have different, phases. Singapore said they were safe and then they forgot about the foreign worker dormitories. And then they're like, oh, we have hundreds of more cases. And so we all went back into lockdown. Here in the UAE, there's different rules. Like, for example, you can only have the driver and 2 passengers in the car. So we're a team of 4 here. So we always have to take 2 taxis. Same as in Singapore, masks at all time, unless you're eating at a restaurant. Yeah. The restaurants, both in Singapore and the UAE, have the social distancing tables. So full table, empty table, full table. The malls are open in both places now. I think Singapore is doing it I think everyone's opening in phases.
How many countries have you been to so far?
I think it's 86.
Wow.
86 countries.
And what about you and Nas traveling together? How many countries has it been for that?
Together, we went to a lot of the same countries I'd been to before, but I'm going to include those even if it's a second. So I think countries we visited together, I'm guessing 40. I'm guessing. Wow. That's a random guess, but I think it may be accurate.
But for any traveler, to find a perfect travel companion is quite a challenge. Everybody wants different things from their trips. Does that happen with you and Nas as well, where both of you want to do different things on a particular trip, and how do you deal with it? And this question would address a lot of couples out there who have to travel together.
Well, for us, we're extremely abnormal. We are not traveling for fun like normal couples. Normal couples are going on a vacation and we are always working. So it's different. So we don't have the issue of like, should we go to, you know, the mall or should we go to the zoo? Because we're always working. So like, if it's a trip, I usually put him first, right? Because he has the stronger channel and it's, you know, whatever. So I usually prioritize him. And if I need to do my own thing, I will just go do my own thing. But I won't have help necessarily. I just need to go do it, right, on my own time. So I cannot assume he can come help me because I know he has to prioritize his own work. And I think that's why it's worked with us, is because I allow him to take priority while we are traveling. But then if I need something, he'll help me. Like today I might need help with shooting a video about food. So I could say, hey, can you help me for a few hours? And he will try to do his best, right? So not super helpful because we're always working. So it's not like a normal travel couple. But it's definitely hard. Even when we're working, we'll have like an argument because pressure is high when you're traveling. Like everything is high stakes. And so, but we've done it so much that when we argue, it's usually, you just always something to argue about, right? Just, it's usually based on your ego and your feelings. And then you turn it into an argument. So.
And I think it's the same with all the couples out there. You did mention about you don't travel like normal couples, you know, and I also, when I'm traveling, for me, travel is work. Do you often feel sad that the whole purpose of travel is somewhere compromised in the pursuit of creating content? And do you feel that? And how do you address? Do you often take time out just to enjoy the destination, or you're fine with just working?
I do not often take time out just to enjoy the destination because I'm such a focused person. So I would either focus on having fun or focus on work. It's hard for me to switch tracks. I'll be honest, I traveled a lot when I was younger. As a college student, every summer I saved money to travel as a backpacker.
Right. Alyne, I've been following your journey and I know that you've gone through divorce. So I want to know that your purpose, or what is that moment when you realize that, you know, this is what I want to do?
Oh, sure. I mean, I think my divorce was it was necessary for me to do this because when I was married, it's not only the marriage, but it's also, the marriage is essentially a product of my religion. So I was very religious, right? And so in my religion, you're supposed to get married. And then, so I did that, right? And so it was less about the marriage that was stopping me from succeeding and more about the religion because I was just so, it's the whole foundation of your life, right? And if you don't actually like believe it, it's kind of like you're living a lie. So you cannot find your truth. So for me, that had to go away so that I can be myself. And, you know, everything in life, in my opinion, for myself, is a mixture of preparation and, you know, the whole formula, preparation, or luck is preparation meeting opportunity. People always say luck is preparation meeting opportunity. So I was always like, all I can do is prepare. So I've spent a lot of my life focusing on education, self-education, experiences. I never knew what they would be good for. I never knew what my job would be, but I knew I have to prepare skills in things that interest me. And so that's what I did. And yeah, getting divorced and primarily leaving my religion is what helped me the most to be able to just be myself.
But even the journey to become a content creator, I mean, there are a lot of insecurities that every content creator goes through. You know, when your video doesn't get enough views, likes, and shares, you may have sleepless nights. And I say this with experience. So have you also gone through those? And do you feel that even today? Because today you have a strong following. Are there such insecurities?
I would say that you have to accept with content creation that you're going to be in one of three categories. You're going to be in the superstar category of people who like almost every video does good because they're grinding their whole life away into it. Yeah. Or you're going to be in the middle category where it's like up and down. It's like a roller coaster. Or you might be in the third category, which is like, it's kind of struggling and it's not taking off, right? So I'm in the middle category where it's like, I have really good times and then I have down times. But I've been doing it long enough that I know it does this. Yeah. So when it does go down, I'm just like, ugh, whatever, I have to wait till it goes up. I'm like annoyed and I am irritated, but I know it will eventually go back up because it always does. Right now, I happen to be in a good period where my videos are doing pretty good. I think because everyone's stuck home and they have nothing else to do but watch our videos.
Your videos are very good.
Thank you. And I don't make a lot of videos, if you've noticed. I only make it when I feel like it. So when I do make a video, I put effort into it. I'm not just like, I have to do a video today or this week. Sometimes I upload once a month. Like, I don't let myself feel that pressure. Right now, for example, I'm taking a step back from everything because, you know, the world exploding with Corona. And
so talking about economy, Alyne, we are directly connected to the travel industry. Has this period had an impact on your business or brand associations as well?
Oh yeah, this has a huge impact on the business. So my business before was 3 things. 1, ad revenue. 2, retreats in real life. And 3, brand deals with clients. So video brand deals. So number 3, video brand deals. It's not 0, but like, let's say I would get 5 deals a month before. Now I might get 1, right? Because a lot of them are dependent on travel, right? Like I can't make a video about Jordan if I can't fly to Jordan. Like, and if they know nobody else can fly to Jordan. So I still do have some brand deals, but they are few and far apart compared to before. I've pivoted, obviously. So any good business person obviously is going to pivot. So I pivoted from real life retreats to online retreats. So now I'm running them online, which is good for a lot of people because it's cheaper than the real life ones are really expensive.
Yeah, that's interesting. So talking about this, what do you think is the future of travel blogging?
I think that it's going to have a lot to do with, you know, information about where you can travel and what you can bring or not bring, or where you can go, and like really stuff that I don't like to do, like the details, you know, of what is allowed or not allowed, which countries are open, and dates. That stuff I hate. I hate paperwork and details. So whoever's good at that will do a good job in the future of tracking where you can go, when you can go, which nationalities can go. Right. So I feel happy because I can, you know, teach people and help people. And then I also am able to keep the company going because I have 10 employees. And so if I'm not having a good enough income, I cannot employ these people during Corona. So I have to, that's my main motivation for hosting the retreats, is like, I don't want to fire all the employees. So I need to like make us an income now so that they can have an income, right?
Yeah, Alyne, it's an interesting insight. And while you may have started as a travel blogger, moving to an influencer, and now an entrepreneur. So do you think that's the way that, you know, content creators should progress in life? Because that's the only way to survive in these tough times.
I think every creator is different, and every creator has a different financial situation and a different something that drives them, right? Some creators are really driven by like the art, and they just like love making videos, and they're like, this video is my soul. And I'm not like that. I'm like, I'm so sick of making videos. I want to watch Netflix and eat Cheetos until I die. So like, I am not an artistic person deep down, right? No, I'm not at all. I'm very purpose driven. I make content because I care about a purpose. I care about, you know, women's rights. Yeah.
Last 2 questions. One would be about the social stigma that women have to go through. You know, even at least in India, it's a bit of a conservative country. And to actually go out and travel, we got to take a lot of permissions from parents or spouse if you're married, or in-laws. Is there an issue like that from your part of the world as well? And how do you deal with a situation like that?
Honestly, no, because my dad is like, he has no clue what I'm doing. He doesn't know where I am ever. Like, I am financially independent. So the second I was 17 or 18, I got a job. I worked a lot. I moved out of my parents' house. And I know I needed to do these things because if I'm 18, I'm a legal adult, I can do whatever I want, you know? And that was my attitude. Like, I would just say to my mom, like, I was scared the first trip. I was like, is she going to be like, oh my God, you can't just go to Peru by yourself for 3 months. So I just planned it without telling her. Okay. And I did not ask her, I informed her. I said, "Hey mom, I'm going to Peru this summer to volunteer." So bye. Like, so of course she had questions and concerns. Again, no cell phones back then. I did not have a cell phone. So it's like scarier because she can't just call me whenever she wants. And like, I don't know how to find my host's house because I don't have Google Maps. So it was totally different. So you need to be financially independent as much as you can. And you need to be even physically. I know culturally you live with families and stuff, but again, if this is what you want, is to have an independent life, you need to have an independent life all the time. Yeah. So that's my approach.
Before we let you go, finally, has your perspective on travel changed during this lockdown?
Yes. I've always had the perspective, like, do as much as you can as soon as you can, because you never know what will happen. Yeah. And, I thought what would happen is I would die or something. And so it's good that I do it now, or I would get like paralyzed. But what happened is the world got paralyzed. So I'm just like so happy I did so much earlier. And even now, like, people should take advantage of life as much as they can now.
Lovely talking to you, Alyne. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, perspective, and insights into how it was traveling during the pandemic.
Of course, I hope it was helpful or interesting to someone.
It is. Thank you so much.